This is Councilman Scott Benson, 3rd District, here at my church, Plymouth, here recognizing a lion in the civil rights industry, our former pastor, Reverend Nicholas Hood II, or as we like to call him, Reverend Nicholas Hood Sr. This is huge for the city of Detroit to recognize those who have gone before us and all the hard work that they've done. And so, as Reverend Hood was also a city council member, he was also a real estate developer and ensured that he housed some of our most vulnerable citizens back in the 1960s when they were doing development here in the Midtown area, then known as the Medical Center. And so, as myself, loving development and loving urban planning, just having someone to look upon for inspiration and knowing he was able to do great things from the council seat and as a developer in the community, ensuring that his people, our people, had a place to live that was wholesome and safe, just goes far for me. And it's really a great honor and privilege today to be able to honor his legacy and assemble all of the living and past city council members from the city of Detroit. So today's a very good day, it's an exciting day, and it's always, I am my brother's keeper.
The Reverend Dr. Nicholas Hood Sr. didn't just look for opportunities to improve people's lives, he created them. The civil rights activist who died last spring fought alongside Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. in the battle for equal treatment for all Americans and helped found the Southern Christian Leadership Conference, the SCLC. And beginning today, the portion of St. Antoine Street that runs in front of them will bear his name as well. Welcome to our celebration to honor the Reverend Dr. Nicholas Hood Sr. and the naming of St. Antoine in front of his apartment complex in his honor.
When the saints go marching in, oh, when the saints go marching, oh Lord, I want to be in that number.
This is such an honor and a privilege to not only be a former council person and be in the company of other former council persons, but it's a privilege just to be here to celebrate Reverend Hood's accomplishments as a city council person, as well as a civil rights leader. I think it's important that we name a street for Reverend Hood so that all the young people coming up in the city of Detroit also, when they look up at that sign, they'll recognize a civil rights pioneer.
Today, I think it's just so important that as we rebuild the city, that we take a minute and that we honor the past, that we embrace the past. And he meant so much to the city and really paved the way for elected officials like myself to even be where I am today.
His work has impacted and changed the way this neighborhood looks. He was a fighter for the rights of those who had been overlooked and who were really going to be bulldozed by this thing called urban renewal. And what he did was bring back housing, bring black doctors into the medical center area, bring this beautiful church into this area so that African Americans could live and flourish and prosper in this part of the city.
I remember something else he said, because we used to campaign together. And he'd introduced himself as the good Hood. It's very catchy and very, very true. So more than anything else, with all of the things that he represented and did and fought for and struggled for, all the people he helped, the little folks who he would not leave behind, the people who never had an opportunity that he fought for, the education that he struggled to bring to others. For all those things, he'll, of course, be remembered, and as we see that street sign, we'll think of him for all those things. But more than anything else, I will remember him as my best friend.
I want to thank Councilwoman Mary Sheffield and Councilman Scott Benson and the entire City Council for approving the commemorative sign in my dad's honor. As you may know, my dad was a member of the City Council for 28 years. He started in 1965, was on the council until 1993, through 93. And he really made, I think, great contributions to the city. Every so often I run into firefighters, older firefighters and older police who tell me that it was my dad's fighting for them when he was on the city council that made it possible for them to get promoted, and in some cases even to be hired. So again, I'm very pleased with this today. I want to thank the entire city council, the president, Brenda Jones, and everybody else for their approval of this. And what do we say? To God be the glory.
Reverend Dr. Nicholas Hood Sr. And I can just thank the family for sharing your father, your loved one, with the city of Detroit. And you talked about all of the leadership that he provided within the church, within the housing. But Nicholas Hood provided a lot of leadership within the city of Detroit.
Our civil rights activity was born out of necessity.